everybody. I'm the Pale Recluse, coming out of hiding to present you with yet another series on my channel. But let me give you some background first. I was watching a video on YouTube and I decided to search Destroying Lion King. Yeah, don't ask. Anyway, I scrolled down a bit and I find this video. I thought it looked odd since it looked nothing like the actual movie. So I clicked on it and, well, it was interesting to say the least. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first episode of Pale Recluse Reviews, where I review movies and shows, particularly if they're weird or eye-catching. Here's how I'm going to be reviewing movies and episodes. For each movie or episode, I'm going to be grading them based on 4 factors that I find important in each one. Story, characters, animation, if it's animated, and writing. After assessing through these elements, I'm going to give my overall score on a 10 grade scale. Now that I've explained how my reviews are going to work, today we're going to be reviewing the first episode of Simba the Lion King. Let me provide a brief background for this piece. This is an Italian animation that was released in 1996 and ran for a year, managing to churn out over 50 episodes. The inspiration for the series came from Disney's The Lion King, gee, who would have guessed, and a Japanese animated adaptation of the Jungle Book. If you want to read more, you can click the link to the information page in the description. With that out of the way, let's get on with reviewing the first episode. Let's take a look at the intro. You'll notice that the animation isn't really anything to write home about. The characters don't stand out, making the style look pretty generic. You can also really tell the resemblance to the aforementioned sources of inspiration. I mean, the main protagonist's name and species isn't different from the Simba we all know and love, for fuck's sake. And if the choice of animals that are to conjugate together in this particular series has got you scratching your heads, don't worry. I actually did a little bit of research. The story is set somewhere in India, and it actually has a pretty diverse set of species, even lions and deer, although some of the other animals chosen are questionable still. The episode starts with Mufasa and his kids. Wait a minute, since this is kind of a Lion King knockoff, we're gonna call this guy Mufasa. Anyway, they're having a grand old time doing absolutely nothing. Holy shit! Even the Lion King wasn't ballsy enough to pull this off.
My friends, I'm afraid my time has come. Protect my children from Shere Khan.
You can count on us to take care of them.
Yeah, the lip syncing is pretty bad, but that's not a surprise, with this being a foreign series and having a dub in English voice acting. Speaking of, the voice acting is pretty bad as well. The actors don't sound like they give a shit. It's like they just phoned in just to make some quick cash. Anyway, it turns out Mufasa's death was actually orchestrated by Shere Khan so that he could take over the jungle. Yes, according to the series and the information page, Shere Khan apparently negotiated with a group of hunters or whatever to assassinate Mufasa without getting to turn into an animal skin rug himself, and probably offered nothing in exchange for their services. These hunters are pretty fucking stupid if you ask me, and the fact that he worked with them is pretty bizarre, considering the original incarnation of the character hates humans for their potential to kill him. That's why he tried to kill Mowgli.
True. You should let them know who's in charge now.
That wasn't even necessary. With Mufasa's death, the animals of the jungle decided to band together to raise his kids, but leave them to live with a mother wolf, whose name is never mentioned.
If she accepts, yes.
I will do my best.
Excellent choice.
Excellent choice,
Yes,
Grandma.
Very good.
So if she were to say no to it because she already has her hands full with her own kids, everyone probably would have exiled her. However, the animals notice one of the cubs is missing, and that happens to be Simba.
Simba's the missing one.
The Lion King's favorite.
Even animals are guilty of playing into child favoritism. They eventually find Simba and save him from a trap through comedy.
You should thank Bagheera and Tim. They saved your life. You're all right. That is a very dangerous trap the hunters set up to capture us, Simba.
Isn't that kind of trap built in a way that if anything or anyone puts any weight on it, they'll fall down? But Simba didn't trigger it considering he's been sleeping on the thing. But you were concerned with him falling down if you try to pick him up? That doesn't make any sense. Guess what, guys? Bambi's in the show too. His name's Buckshot, and is a friend of Simba's, whose parents were also killed by hunters. Want to know why I'm bringing this up? Well, in the original Italian version, his name was... The two friends return to the mother wolf's den for the evening, and they decide to sleep outside.
They just want attention. I'd love to see their faces if Shere Khan found them asleep.
Wow, Simba sisters are assholes. The next morning, Simba and Buckshot are woken up by a pair of squirrels.
We came to offer you some leaves that will make you strong and healthy. They're quite delicious.
Really? This is your ration for today. Eat it!
Thanks, but I'm a lion. I don't like to eat leaves. I'd rather have a nice plump rabbit.
Rabbit won't make you big and strong. We're going to teach you how to find plants that are more nourishing than meat.
They're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here because they know when Simba's big enough, they'll be a snack. Shere Khan's minions attempt to off Simba, but are convinced that he's Jesus. Yeah, the minions of the main antagonists are imbeciles, like we haven't seen that before. So the hyena, whose name is Kurt by the way, reports it to Shere Khan.
Nonsense! Now you're starting to believe in ghosts? I'm positive there's a logical explanation for what you saw, and you will figure it out, understand?
So he's an atheist.
Funny, isn't it? No more talk! Bring me those little worms. I know how to make them talk. Go on, now!
You think from him saying this, his minions are actually going to kidnap Simba and Buckshot, but that never happens in the episode. That's the weird thing about this. Any sort of conflict in the episode is practically non-existent except in the beginning with Mufosa's death and removing Simba from a trap. Other than that, nothing else happens.
There they are! Oh, if they get away, I'll be punished, and the master won't give me rabbits anymore.
You missed them! They're heading out towards the plains!
See what I mean? After their day in the jungle, Simba and Buckshot return to the mother wolf's den.
We went for a ride on the crocodile.
That wasn't a safe thing to do.
They can't even swim. If they'd fallen in, they would have done like this.
Once again, Simba's sisters are assholes.
Very funny. I'm gonna learn how to swim, you'll see. Then I'll be the one making fun of you while you're stuck on land.
Stop this bickering. Otherwise, I'll get upset.
Because the biggest concern isn't that the kids could get into a physical altercation, but that your feelings would be hurt. The rest of the episode is just the mother wolf having a flashback to the time Mufasa saved her and her pups from Shere Khan. What is with this guy? And the episode ends with the mother wolf monologuing about raising Simba and his sisters to be just like their dad.
Simba has found a new family. And he's also found a new friend, Buckshot. Thanks to him, Simba has already started to discover the mysteries of the jungle. All of the Lion King's friends promised to watch over the 3 cubs. But will they be able to raise them to be as wise, as strong, and as generous as their father? We'll have to wait and see.
I'm sorry the review was short, but there wasn't much to work with because almost nothing happens in the episode. All the important events that happened in it were in the first few minutes, and then everything else after that just seems like filler. There were some other things in the episode that I found stupid, but if I were to take the time to criticize them, it would just be nitpicking. I did choose some things to nitpick, but they were more for comedy. Overall, the episode had a decent setup in the beginning, but there's a lack of direction afterwards. Most of the characters seem generic at best, the animation is mediocre, and the writing is lackluster, especially with the dialogue. I'm giving this episode a 3 out of 10. I know I said I'll review movies or shows that catch my interest, but if there's a particular movie or episode of a show that you want me to review, let me know. This is the Pale Recluse, and I'll see you the next time I decide to come out of hiding.